What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing the classic thing that everybody always wants to know, going through the best ways to make money in Wynncraft. Now, I'll briefly mention some because some are simple and it's understandable, and I will try to go through the more realistic ones. So first things off, I want to say this first. The actual fastest way to make money in Wynncraft is loot runs. Loot runs are by far the fastest way. They can give you about 4 liquefied emeralds per hour if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, maybe 2 per hour, maybe even 3. So I would consistently say you can make about 3 liquid emeralds per hour. This is subject to change. They can always change it. But there is a large variety of things that go into this. You need to have an end game build. You usually have to do it on a mage. You have to have wind tills. You have to be very aware which server you're playing on what time, because the way that chests spawn is very important in this. I don't want to tell you all the details that goes into it, because Wynncraft isn't really the most liking of this being spread around. But if you want to do loot runs, there's plenty of videos showing you how to do them. You want to have a very specific kit and build on, but this is very end game. Okay, this is after you've beaten the game. Once you have enough money to make a full build specifically for this, and spend at least a few liquid emeralds on it, this is once you have yourself in a really good position. I wouldn't recommend loot runs unless that's the only thing you plan on doing and you're in the late game, very far late game. But if you're starting out, the best thing to do is to do quests. Quests themselves can give you a ton of money, and people really skip over them and they don't really keep track of the amount of the money they give you. The most amount of emeralds I've ever made at a single point in time is from a quest. You can get 7 liquid emeralds from this quest over here in the Shire. It is absolutely insane the amount of money some of these quests can give you, especially in the end game. From level 80 onwards, almost every quest you do gives you at least a liquid emerald as payment, and some of them give you multiple, which is crazy. There's only very few that don't pay you, but regardless of that, doing quests is always a great way. Like I said in one of my previous videos, doing a whole run through of the game, like doing all 100 or whatever quests, gives you about a stack and a half of liquid emeralds, about 300, 400,000 depending on how cheap you are with your liquid emeralds. So yeah, 300, that's a stack and a half of liquid emeralds if you beat this. And if you spend a few hours, like a day on the game, you can beat the game in 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, I would say. So it's definitely a good money making strategy, creating a new account, doing all the quests, mainly doing the later quests. You won't make much money from the earlier quests. And now moving on to the next one. The next way to make money, the most normal way that people say, is the Sevale Reef. Obviously, this can give you about 2 liquid emeralds per hour on average. You can just go off of Selkar, off the coast of Selkar here. It is the middle place in the ocean. To the east is the Seavale Reefs. And if you go to the Sevale Reef like I have in this clip, and you can gather up all these different gems and pearls and stuff that spawn there, and then you're able to take them back and sell them in Selkar, and you make pretty decent money with this. Now granted, this isn't the best money making, but if you want to spend, let's say, 2-3 hours grinding, this is the way to go. Now, the thing about this type of money is, what do you need in order to do it? Technically, you don't need anything, but if you want to stay in the water any long enough time, you definitely want to have a breathing helmet on. Now, the breathing helmet, you can get the first one or the second one. The first one you can get at level 8. At level 40, I believe you get the breathing helmet too. I would say until you're level 60, this is probably one of the most consistent and good methods to make money. You can do it in the Sevale Reef. Trust me, it is good. Now we're going to go on into a few ways of making money that is a bit more complicated. For example, the next one is selling and buying on the market. I do this every now and again when I get my my daily rewards. Sometimes you'll get some legendary items, especially if you're near the end game. Selling them at a blacksmith like normally doesn't usually make you that much money. So what I usually do is I come over here to the trade market and I see, well, how much is that item selling for? Like, for example, if you find a Libra, they sell for crazy because everyone uses them in their builds. So you can see that even the least expensive sells for a liquid emerald. And this is subject to change. The prices vary all the time, but this is something you should be aware of throughout your whole playthrough, is going through the trade market and seeing how much the item you're trying to sell for goes for. If you're in the early game, odds are it probably isn't much, and you might just sell to a blacksmith anyways. But once you start hitting level 80, 90, at that point, definitely consider, maybe even level 70 to be honest, definitely start considering selling your items on the market, seeing if it can make you money. It's definitely a real way to make money, although it might not be as good as something as loot running. So yeah, the black market works. Those are the chief ways to make money. Of course, there are other ways. Killing mobs will get you money, but it's a very slow process. Selling to the blacksmith is something that you should always be doing regardless. Every time you have a piece of armor that you don't need, you can always sell it to the blacksmith. Very rare occasions you can't. So when you kill mobs and they drop something, definitely sell. You usually make your money. So let's quickly run through. We have loot running, which is you need to be super high level and have a very good kit for. Very complicated. 2 requires a lot of planning and wind tills and a lot of other mods. It requires a lot of preparation for. Next is doing the quest. The problem with the quest is that you have to be level 80 plus, really. And it takes time to complete it. So let's say it takes a bit longer to make the money, and it's a one-time deal. So there's that. You can create new accounts, but I mean, of course, you know, if you want to get money for one account, that's not exactly what you want. And then moving on to the next one. The next one is the Seavale Reef. It is always consistent. It makes you a decent amount of money. It's in the mid-range of the money earning. But you need the breathing helmet, which isn't hard to do. It's medium. I feel like this is overall the best way to make money if you're not too into like setting up and preparing for it. So I would definitely consider the Sevale Reef. I feel like it's pretty good. Past the Sevale Reef is going through the market, and the market is unpredictable. You can make a lot amounts of money at one time, but I would say that it's a bit slow of a process because other players have to buy your items and you have to find those items. It's inconsistent, but it can make you tons of money in short bursts, I guess. So there is that. Plus and minus. And then killing mobs, it is the most easiest thing to do. Very, very slow way of making money. Make sure to sell your items to the blacksmith, and there is that. Oh, and also quickly before I forget, you can also do forgery runs and raids. Raids are the better of the two, but they're late game. Both of these are kind of late game, so the pros of this is that you can make consistent money. It's a bit slower than something like loot running, but again, you need a good kit in order to be able to complete this. If you want to get more money, if you want to complete the hardest raid, that'll give you really good money. But again, just like loot running, you need a lot of preparation in order to do it, and you usually need people with you in order to do it as well. So there's a bit of good and bad for that one as well. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you know a better way. I'm sure that there probably are a few niche better ways. There's probably nothing better than loot running. I don't think there really would be, and nothing better than raiding. Alright, well that is everything I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys want me to do next. Put it down in the comments. Please like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. We're on the road to 200 subscribers. We're at 168 today. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow with the next daily upload. Bye-bye.